Welcome back to my channel. Bit of a new location to start the videos. As you can see, the birds are chirping. But I think that this meeting is a good meeting at Ladbrokes Park, Hillside. Track runs are good for. I don't think that's going to change, and I don't think it'll advantage horses up on speed or anywhere like that. Not too many value runners. Well, there's only one really. I think a lot of favourites are gonna win. It's going to be very hard to get a favourite beaten. So let's get into the video. Race 1 is a maiden played over the 1300 metres. This is the market headed by Ocean Raider at 230, Forbidden City at 240, and Native Girl at 350. This is the last start effort of Native Girl at Flemington in the Group 2 Wakeful Stakes, where she jumped fairly and remained at the rear of the field for most of the race, and once rounding the home turn just had horses all around her. Not sure that there was a lot of room for her in the show, but she was on the rails and was in the inferior ground. I've got her on top, massive step back in grade from Group 2 to maiden grade, and the fact that Jamie Carr is riding shows intent to me because she isn't a regular jockey for Charlotte Littlefield, so I think that's interesting. Ocean Raider ran over the 1400 at Lakeside last start, which was last Wednesday. Coming back to 1300 is interesting. Forbidden City had his chance in a couple of runs but couldn't quite crack it, and Gun Show next best, but Jamie Carr should be winning the first. Race 2 is a 3-year-old filly's benchmark 64 handicap over the 1000 metres. This is the market headed by Morning Melody at $1.80 and Northern Melody at $4.40 and No Crying at $4.80. This is a last start effort of Morning Melody at Moonee Valley in the Group 3 Scarborough Stakes. She was ridden by Damien Oliver and jumped well and had the rail, but was gone on the turn. She picked up late and ran on well, past a couple of beaten and tired horses late, but it was a good effort. I like the drop in grade in her getting to a big track like Sandown. Ollie not riding though. With the weight, they more or less had to put an apprentice on. They picked the right one because Matty Cartwright is in ripping form, so I think he'll win. And is my best of the day at $20 to win. Never Standing Still next best has had 2 starts for a second in a win, so she could be promising. Northern Melody might be ready to show something third up, and No Crying for 4th, but Morning Melody should be strong late. Race 3 is a 3-year-old benchmark 70 handicap over the 1600 metres. This is the market headed by Attractable at $3, Secret Glamour at $3.80, and Elzame at $4.20. This is the last start effort of Attractable at Flemington a couple of weeks ago, where he jumped well and was the widest rounding the home turn, got off the heels of decent rain late and ran on well, and was no match for that horse and Umgawa, who came flying down the outside. That horse then went to Caulfield last weekend and performed well. I don't think it'll take Jamie Carr long to get an early double, and if you're getting within 2 lengths of decent rain, that's a good effort. So Attractable on top. Elzama is on the very quick backup from only racing at the Valley on Friday night, so she's got to be up there, and the market will tell you if she's there to rock and roll. Matron Bullwinkle has had only 2 starts for a win in their second, and Jamie Carr rode her in her first start, and John McNeil rode in the second, and he sticks, good chance, and Secret Glamour, but Jamie Carr should notch up an early double pretty quick. Race 4 is a Class 1 over the 1400 metres. This is the market headed by Inverell at $3, Footlights at $4.40, and National Choice at $6.50. This is a last start effort of Diamondback at Yarra Valley, where he jumped away well back towards the inside, settled and held the fence. The leader looked off and gone around the turn, and the horses looked to be chasing. He was also wide around the turn, but it came pounding down the middle of the track and was way too good. I'm with him. He's only had 2 starts breaking the maiden last start and now coming straight to town, which is a bit curious, but Chris Waller is a genius, and Damien Oliver, Need I say more? Footlights in Edinburgh can win, wouldn't surprise me at all. They will both be except for the Group 1 Victoria Derby, so they're both high horses, and that's in addition to the fact of Edinburgh having its last start in the Group 1 Spring Champions Stakes. Their national choice next best, but I might be off completely, but the power of Diamondback's last start looks up to Metro Grade. Race favours the benchmark 64 handicap over the 1,000 metres. This is the market headed by Along the River at $2.80, Lunar Hero at $3.90, and Island Edition at $3.40. This is the last start effort of Along the River at Flemington against Squid Game and the Smart Clemenceau, where he jumped fairly and settled at the rear and looked like he was going to drop right out, but really came charging late, and the trifecta of that race are smart horses, Squid Game being 2 from 3 and Clemenceau being 2 from 2, and Sharp Response performing well a couple of weeks back. So with Along the River, he's coming out of a very strong form race, and I think with the class drop, this is his race to lose. The Superintendent was brilliant last start against Unflinching, but probably not up to that sort of class, so the drop here helps. Lunar Hero is an absolute 1,000-metre specialist, but the query is she's never been to Sandown, and most of her form is at the Valley. Island Edition next best, but Jamie Carr should not drop another winner here. Race 6 is a benchmark 64 handicap over the 1,800 metres. This is the market headed by Race Against Time at $3.80, Bring the Stars at $4.20, and Larrikin at $5. This is the last start effort of Bring the Stars at Flemington when running third to the Cunning Fox over the 2,000 metres, where he jumped well and settled midfield. For most of the race, and when rounding the home turn, had horses all around. Tried to take a run, but was closed off by Can't Go Wong. Switched back to the inside and kept going to the line, and was good running into third in the photo finish. To do that at a big track, it should be fine, and Sandown should suit. Being a big track, back in class, and is the one to beat for mine. Ricolto next was scratched from the Valley on Friday night in preference to this, so is a strong chance. Larrikin and Lay-by next best, but Mick D should be winning this race. Race 7 is a Fillies and Mares benchmark 70 handicap over the 1,600 metres. This is the market headed by Oceans 13 and Honey Creeper at $3, then $5 for Sweet Carolina. This is our last start effort of Honey Creeper at Cranbourne, where she jumped well and settled third for the trip and was being hard ridden rounding the home turn, but the leader was off and gone and canted in. But to Honey Creeper's credit, really found late and drove and scored the prize for second. Honey Creeper is the one to beat if that last start effort hasn't taken much out of him, but as for the form tells me, he looks the winner and should be winning here. Sweet Carolina next was good at Flemington 2 starts ago. Not sure what happened at the Valley, but she's a top 2 chance for sure if she runs up to the run at Flemington. And the stable can turn horses around. Example, Estrel Park came off a disappointing performance and won on Sunday. Al Medina and It's True next best, but I think with a closer run, the Honey Creeper can finish over the top of these. Race 8 is a benchmark 70 over the 1,400 metres to finish the day. This is the market headed by Over the Sky at $3.40, Paldora at $4, and Logan Street Line at $4.60. This is the last start effort of Over the Sky at Caulfield, where he jumped well and settled in a handy position and travelled well for the whole race. Made a forward move rounding the home turn, but was wide and moved up and claimed the lead, but it was short-lived because the inside horse and Paperboy kicked and won well. But Over the Sky was only first up and pitted on this run late. I think this is the hardest race of the day, not helped by the fact it's the last race of the day, but I'm with Over the Sky. I found it extremely hard to split him and Logan Street Lion. I went with Over the Sky because of his last start and because he was unlucky to win, and his second up record 2 from 2, so I think he'll win. Logan Street Lion can also win, and I think is a pretty classy horse, but hasn't quite put it all together yet. Paldora next, and Fact is the best value of the day, where there isn't much, but Over the Sky should win the last. Thank you for watching my preview for Ladbrokes Park Hillside. I hope I've tipped some winners, and I hope you find some winners. Thank you for watching.